While Etihad Group CEO Tony Douglas has left a tiny window of possibility for the A380 to be reactivated with his airline, he has also been saying for months that the type was not commercially feasible. During a late August interview with Simple Flying, Douglas laid out his reasons for why the Super Jumbo should be put to rest for good. As part of our ongoing Future Flying series, Simple Flying was honoured to have a chance to speak with Etihad Group CEO Tony Douglas at the end of August. During the discussion about the status of his airline, the group chief was asked about his fleet of A380 Super Jumbos. Etihad has, or had, 10 of these aircraft in its fleet, with all of them now sitting in long-term storage across 2 sites in France and Spain. While Planespotters.net has now moved these 10 aircraft to the quote-unquote historic column, Douglas acknowledged that there was still a very slim chance that the jet could return home to Abu Dhabi and go back into active service. At the same time, during the interview, Douglas laid out his reasons for keeping the A380s grounded.
Simple reality is, however, anything with more than 2 engines on simply doesn't work. It hasn't done for almost half a generation now, and it certainly doesn't anymore because the cost of operation, the fuel burn, is simply no longer competitive or even close to being competitive. And in particular, when you've got a fleet size, as we did, of only 10 aircraft. So I think the other operator you refer to has the biggest fleet in the world, so there are some benefits of having a fleet of that scale.
Douglas goes on to say that in addition to having 2 engines too many, the A380's existing engines are a generation behind. This is especially the case when compared to the most modern of power plants that are fitted onto newer and more efficient twin jets today.
Sadly, the aircraft is handicapped by 2 engines too many, and also a generation of engine design which is way behind the modern aero engines that power today, the likes of 787 and A350 in particular.
Outside of interviews, Etihad as an airline has removed the A380 from its website completely. While this is far from an official announcement, it's a symbolic gesture that will properly set customer expectations for an aircraft other than the A380. In discussing why his airline isn't operating the Super Jumbo, Douglas acknowledged the fact that the decision will disappoint many of Etihad's customers.
So I think we're desperately disappointed to no longer have 380 operational in our fleet. From a guest experience standpoint, it's outstanding. And for all of you who've been on board, in particular the Etihad A380, you'd probably acknowledge that it represented the absolute pinnacle of presentational standard and customer service.
It would be nice to live in a world that would allow for an easy and simple retrofit of existing Airbus A380s to have 2 large and efficient engines instead of 4. Sadly, it isn't a modification that is desired nor profitable in today's climate. Do you think we'll ever see an aircraft as large as the A380 ever again, but with 2 engines? Let us know in the comments. In addition to our daily YouTube videos, Simple Flying publishes over 150 articles and a podcast every week. If you're looking for the latest aviation news and insights, visit simpleflying.com. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe before you go.